What is going on, traders, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Glad to have you. Now, as you know, the House approved the infrastructure bill and has been sent to Biden to sign into law. So this video is going to go over some of the top infrastructure plays you should look out for. All right, let's get to it. All right, first let's go over some of the provisions that's in the bill. Let's start off with roads, bridges, and major projects. They allotted $110 billion for that, and that's going to include $1 billion for black communities divided by highways, $39 billion for public transit, and $66 billion for passenger and freight rail. For broadband, they allotted $65 billion for the upgrade of port infrastructure, $17 billion for the upgrade of airports, $25 billion. Now, when it came to EVs for low and zero emission buses and ferries, they allotted $7.5 billion, and for the EV charging network, $7.5 billion. To help rebuild the electric grid, they gave $65 billion. To upgrade the water infrastructure, $55 billion. To upgrade the grid and water protections, which includes things like protection from cyber attacks, flooding, and things of that nature, $50 billion. And to clean up Superfund sites, $21 billion. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stocks you may want to consider. The first one up is Vulcan Materials, ticker symbol VMC. Now, this company is America's largest producer of construction aggregates, which includes things like crushed stone, sand, and gravel. And it's also a major producer of asphalt and cement. All right. Next one up is Nucor, ticker symbol NUE. Simply put, it's the largest domestic steel maker in North America. All right. Next up is Caterpillar, ticker symbol CAT. Now, everybody knows this company's big yellow trucks and machines. Now, they make asphalt pavers, compactors, excavators, pipe layers, backhoes, and just about anything else you need for a major infrastructure project. Next up is United Rentals, ticker symbol URI. Now, this company rents construction equipment, things like backhoes, forklifts, earth moving equipment, boom lifts, things like that. And they have over 1,000 rental locations throughout the U.S. And you can see from their chart here that they've been on a steady uptrend and is really high on my watch list. All right, next up is Chargepoint Holdings, ticker symbol CHPT. This company is the largest EV charging network in the world with over 200,000 locations. Now, this company has always been the forefront leader when it came to speculation on who was going to benefit from this charging network infrastructure bill. But one thing that you might want to consider realize is that initially they wanted 500,000 EV charging stations throughout the U.S., but the bill only provisions for 250,000. So some of the expectations and some of the hype beyond ChargePoint and some of these other charging networks may be diminished just a bit. So, keep that in mind when considering investing into this one. All right, the last one I'm going to mention is more of an all-in-one play. It's Global X Infrastructure Development ETF, ticker symbol PAVE. Now, this company, this ETF says that it seeks to invest in companies that stand to benefit from the potential increase in infrastructure activity in the United States and in raw materials, heavy equipment, and construction in particular. So rather than playing an individual company or stock, you may want to consider looking at this one for an overall exposure to this infrastructure bill. All right. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see all of the tickers that are in this ETF, I'll go ahead and leave that link in the description. Okay. All right, one last thing I want to show you before I end the video. This article from CNBC right here. The House is going to be out next week, and it could take the CBO, which is the Congressional Budget Office, days or weeks to prepare a score of the legislation. If you don't know what that is, I'll leave a link in the description on what the Congressional Budget Office does. But basically, they just look over the legislation and make sure all the numbers add up. All right, so once Biden signed this thing into law, I'm expecting an initial spike, but the longer this drags out before they can start handing out contracts, I'm imagining that some of these tickers may drift off after the initial euphoria, and then once they get awarded these contracts, then things will spike back up again. So keep that in mind when you're looking into these tickers, all right? And that's going to be the end of the video. If you found value, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And watch for my videos every Sunday on my watch list for the upcoming week, all right? Until then, talk to you later.